Today we're testing cheap versus expensive knives. Do you actually have to spend several $100s on a knife? If you buy the cheap knife, is that gonna get dull quickly? Is that actually going to make your food taste better or worse? Or are these just arbitrary myths peddled from chef to chef just waiting to be busted? To find out, I've assembled a team of highly trained, serious culinary professionals. Are they stabbing each other? To put them to the test. Because this is Myth Munchers! No, God, she's dead! Myth Munchers!
Yes!
Today we're doing things a little bit differently.
Wow.
We are testing 3 different knives at 3 different price points. We have a $5 knife, a $50 knife, and a $500 knife. True top of the line stuff to see if it actually matters. If people at home should buy an expensive knife, or if they should go with something mid-priced, or just, hey, go to the store, grab the cheapest thing off the rack, see what happens. So we've designed a battery of tests. That's right, a battery of tests to see how they perform. We will be slicing steak really thin, making pico de gallo, slicing up potatoes for french fries, and then finally cutting chives to see how the sharpness holds up.
Woo!
Think we're gonna find out anything interesting?
I think it's gonna be pretty interesting.
If it's not, we're not gonna air this.
We
You're
waste
never gonna
money.
see it. Yeah, we'll just watch it at home by ourselves. But before we get to that, I wanna pitch you on an idea. This is the spife, or the spifé if you're in French.
This branch.
I got it. I have a tattoo of a spork on my arm. Noted spork proponent. This is my new idea of spife. You can scoop while you slice things. If you hurt yourself, that's simply a skill issue. No, this is not just a grapefruit spoon that's misshaped. This is a spife. If we get 5,000 pre-orders, I'll get a tattoo of the spife next to the spork.
Do you bleed when you hold the knife?
Yeah,
Or
probably.
when you want to spoon stuff? You just grip it and you're just bleeding everywhere?
Yeah,
No
that's
one
part
makes
of
me
it.
bleed my own blood. You ready to get to testing?
Yeah.
It's a reference to Dodgeball. They don't make comedies like that anymore.
No.
As you can see, we have 3 steaks and 3 different knives in front of us, but before we get to that, I am very, very excited to announce Mythical Kitchen's first ever live stream, Survive the Mythical Kitchen. All the Kitcheneers will have to cook, lie, cheat, steal, and backstab through their toughest competition ever. And there is a grand prize that you are really going to want to win, and you are really gonna want to tune into that, so check it out live on April 3rd. Go to mythicalkitchenlive.com, get your tickets now, they are on sale. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. I'm
Excited
gonna
to-
take you down.
No
Relax.
real backstabbing, only metaphorical backstabbing.
Relax. I'm gonna stab you in the back with one of these knives.
You better not, because I'm going to get that knife and also stab you in the back.
I feel unsafe. Let's meet our knives.
This is our $5 knife, the Hampton Forge Epicure Chef Knife. It's 8 inches long, has a really cushiony handle, and it's a stainless steel blade.
This is our $50 knife, the Mercer Culinary Renaissance Chef's Knife. It's 8 inches long and made from high-carbon German cutlery steel, which resists rust, corrosion, and discoloration. It's triple riveted with an ergonomically designed Delrin thermoplastic handle, and its full tang runs the entire length of the handle for superior balance.
This is our $500 knife, the Zwilling 1731 Twin 8-inch chef's knife. The knife is full tang with a Ziri Cote wood handle and a Nitro 60 steel blade. So we decided to get all German knives because although Japanese are like the pristine, best of the best, they tend to be single purpose. You have a different knife to chop heads off of fish. You have different knives for vegetables and all the different things. German knives tend to be more multi-purpose, a little friendlier for the home chef. So that's why we're using German.
We're gonna try and slice the steak as thin as possible. I do this when I'm generally making Philly cheesesteaks, but for me, this is like my litmus test for how a knife performs. If it can slice razor thin ribbons of steak, I think that makes a good knife. And then also we get to eat Philly cheesesteaks at the end of this, and I'm pretty stoked on that.
Me too.
Your favorite.
Ready to get to it?
Yeah.
All right, let's try it. So you got the cheapest knife. I have the
do.
middle knife. You got.
So pretty.
You're probably paying a little bit for this little red velvet.
Yeah, this even feels nice. For a cheap
Yeah,
knife.
how's the
It's
weight on your knife?
Very light, very easy to maneuver, and I like that already.
Yeah, German knives tend to be like more weighted towards the blade, and so if you put your finger at the hilt, it kind of tilts forward. But that's like really good for hacking through heavy pieces of meat. All right, get to slicing.
I'm a hacker.
Try and get.
Oh my gosh, you're going so fast.
How do you,
Me?
yeah, you make a lot of Philly cheese.
Are you just going?
Dude, I make
Making
so
sure I
many Philly
don't
cheesesteaks
chop off
at
I'm just
home.
getting through fat
fingers.
right now.
I'm getting like really thin slices on this, and it feels nice.
Ooh, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
nice. This is
Sashimi?
all fat.
Oh, yeah.
No.
This
Skills.
diaphanous sheet of beef, man. It's pretty hard to get thinner than that. And to me, like the secret between a good Philly cheesesteak and a great Philly cheesesteak is how thin that ribeye is cut. In restaurants, they'll run it through a machine, but like at home,
Yeah.
you generally don't have a meat slicer, so
Yeah.
you need to become the meat slicer.
So yeah, that's why we're rotating, because we all have different knife cuts and we want to make sure that our test is completely even.
Okay.
So we're gonna cut a third of the steak and then we're gonna each touch each knife to make sure it's perfect.
Hello, my little meat accordion.
Okay, you're just
All
having a
right.
good time.
I'm like, he's gonna cut the whole steak. Wait, go that way.
Musical chairs.
I don't know how to play.
Yeah, this is like a very foreign knife to me because I've been using Japanese blades at home for
Yeah.
quite a while. I have it's called a Mac, and it actually is a Santoku blade, so it has the dimples in it. And I spent like $140 on it. It's been like the best addition to my kitchen, though. It's so fantastic.
Probably the most I ever spent on a knife was $150.
What are your initial thoughts? Like, do you think you need to spend like say $200, $300, $400 on a knife? What's the most you would ever spend on a knife?
I spent $300 on my knife when I worked in restaurants, which I think is worth it if you are a chef and also just like building out your knife roll for specific purposes, which I think Japanese knives come in handy then. But for like a home cook, I don't know, maybe like in the like 150 range. I'm
that's
assuming
probably the most you would want to spend on your home knife.
this knife for me, even though it cost $50, it cost me $40,000 because of culinary school. This knife is super light, which I don't love because I like the weightedness of like a Western knife to kind of help you cut through. You can also see there's something called full tang where the steel goes all the way through to the end of the handle, and you can tell already that this is like two different pieces.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, I can see this kind of dulling out pretty fast.
I feel good about my beef mound. You guys ready to swap?
Yeah.
Give me that cheap boy.
Rotate!
It's like we're getting ready for Korean barbecues.
My favorite.
This is so light. You know what
Whoa.
I kind of love though?
This feels
Rubber handle. A lot of rubber and
Really?
plastic handles in restaurant knives. Yeah, non-slip grip. Love it.
The weight of this one actually really surprised me. It's like almost uncomfortable a little bit.
What? How like heavy it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can really feel the dullness of this blade like grab at the steak in a way that the Mercer knife, that $50 knife, doesn't. But the difference between the 50 and the 500, I think that might be the thing that we ultimately find here.
Yep.
Is that there's a huge difference between the super cheap and the medium. But then when you get to like medium to super expensive, I don't know, to me it's kind of like sushi, you know? You get like the cheapest sushi. It's probably like Walmart sushi's
I'm
not
not eating
great. God
Walmart
bless
sushi.
Walmart for trying.
people
Well, I
eat it.
did. But then if you go to like a pretty good sushi spot and spend like $60, it's great. And then if you go to like a $300 spot, it's still great, but you're like,
yeah.
damn, I could do a lot with 240
Yeah,
bucks.
exactly.
Yeah, it still works.
And it's all about how you like take care of the knife as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
I go to like my in-laws' house and they have that knife set that's just so dull and it's never been sharpened. And they're all just
Man.
like butter knives, and yeah, it's not great.
In-laws
It's very-
have the dullest knives.
Why?
I don't know why it happens. Yeah, another interesting thing, you're talking about the full tang. You can feel this blade kind of flex, which is bad, and you can actually feel it like work against the handle.
It's kind of
'Cause they're not
sketchy, the
connected.
handle. I mean, it feels
It's very
it's gonna
sketchy.
break
I
off.
feel like I'm gonna
Super
drop
glue.
it at any moment.
I feel pretty satisfied with our beef piles here. Let's switch back. Let's examine.
Okay.
Let's see where we're at here. I will say I loved
Wow.
I loved my experience.
too.
It felt like with the Harry Potter ones that like they call out to you or whatever. They
Yeah.
choose you. This feels good.
I feel I like that one. Like I wish that this one was choosing me because it's like expensive and like you know.
That's
But-
really who I think I am, but I'm really
My
over
heart
here.
is this one right now.
Every time I don't like something expensive, I feel like such a little garbage boy, you know? You know, and like someone pours you a glass of whiskey and it's like, that's a $200 bottle. And you're like, got any Jaeger? All of
one
them
looks the
cut
best.
good enough, but we got a lot more tests in store. Ready to get to it?
Yeah.
For test number 2, Pico de Gallo, or Beak of the Rooster, as it literally translates. Fun little fact there. Did you know
I did not know that. No.
You teach me something every day.
You know,
Yeah.
fun facts with Josh. But anyways, this I thought would be a good test because you have multiple different vegetables that all sort of require something a little bit different. Jalapenos have some tough skin on the outside that, in my experience, a crappy knife struggles to cut through. Tomatoes are notoriously kind of tough to cut through if you don't have a thick knife. And then onions, I mean, this is probably the thing you're chopping most of in your kitchen at any given point, right? It's the base of so many different cultures. And then cilantro, it can easily bruise. If you don't have a sharp knife, then you just sort of end up with like these little pock marks cut in your cilantro. It's all stuck together, big mouthfuls of it. What we're gonna do, we're all gonna take a vegetable. I'm gonna do jalapenos and onions right here because they're probably the most similar to cut. Lily, you got cilantro, V, you got tomatoes. Ready?
Yeah.
Break.
Right.
You should do the tomato thing where you slice off the top, the Cutco knife
Oh,
commercial.
yes.
Should we all try it? Just like the end?
This is what they do in Cutco knife demonstrations. Yeah, I don't
wait.
think.
What's happening?
They.
I don't think that's a thing. That's not a thing.
All right, Cutco's the best knife. We should have just got Cutco knives.
Should've.
But you need somebody to knock on your door and
They
sell
have
you
their
them.
scissors. They cut a penny in half,
Yes,
dude.
the
Cutco,
penny.
man. If anybody sold Cutco knives in like high school, college, whatever, anytime in your life, comment down below.
Ooh.
A chef I worked for sold Cutco knives, and he was like, "People rip on them all the time. Cutco knives are good.
And they have like lifetime sharpening, don't they?
We can't support a pyramid scheme here."
This is surprisingly very
nice.
smooth on the tomatoes. Either we picked a good tomato or this knife's doing its job.
Yeah, so my cilantro is nice and like feathery. It's not making it green on the board. It's all dry, so.
I'm so used to
actually
cooking
cheating.
with Japanese knives that this like big German knife, even falling through an onion, feels so much different than what I'm used to at home. There are so many different knives in the kitchen that are used for different tasks. Bread knife, paring knife, boning knife, just like vegetable knives, stuff like that. For my money, cleavers, I use a chef's knife, and I have an 8-inch chef's knife. So these are all 8 inches, which some people say is just bragging. I think it's somewhat modest. I use this for like 95% of things, you know?
I feel like if you're going to like get a new knife, rather than getting a knife set that has like the steak knives in it and like some just random knives that you're never gonna use,
Do not
Don't
get
do
those.
it. Don't do
just
it.
spend a little more to get a really nice chef's knife.
Like, I understand why people buy that because it seems like such a good value. Because you're on Amazon, it'll be like $65 for 12 knives. You're like, that's $5 a knife.
Yep.
You need
Do
3
it.
knives. You need 3 knives at like
Do
most.
it.
Do it if it makes you happy, but like, straight up, that's an in-law move, dude.
Yeah,
That's an
what
in-law
in-law-
move to buy the,
in-laws.
you go to Costco, you get the Wusthof
Yes,
knife set.
yep.
The official
Everyone-
knife set of in-laws.
I have that at home
Not a sponsor.
because Alex's parents, my in-laws, got it for him.
This
I
already
don't
fell.
wanna
This
use
already
it.
fell. Oh.
Dang, Josh,
like
this knife
butter.
is special.
Yeah, this one's it's bruising the cilantro. So with this cilantro, you can see that it's like kind of a dark green. It almost looks like grass clippings. It's because the knife is, rather than cutting through, it's actually just like bruising the leaves, and that's not great. And you can see like the green stains right here. So it's already dulling out, unfortunately.
Oh, Josh's knife is my favorite. It's so smooth. It doesn't get stuck to the tomato like it likes to do to me sometimes.
It's interesting feeling the $500 knife with the vegetables because I think the fact that it does have such a like big face, almost like a vegetable cleaver, it does just feel really, really good falling through that onion. All right, give me the cheap knife. Give me what I
knife.
deserve.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I deserve this bougie knife.
I'm a garbage person.
This Beverly Hills ass knife.
From garbage I was born, to garbage I shall return.
I identify as the Mercer, just perfectly normal. Perfectly
sure?
fine.
Are any of us normal?
No.
You guys been using the knife to scoop up the produce, or are you using the pastry cards?
I'm using the pastry cards.
I use
But come on,
both.
At home, what do you do?
I use a pastry card.
Really, every
Yes.
time? Oh, every time. Everything you got at home. You're not scraping your knife at the bar.
Yes, I'm.
Well, you're a better
my
person than I
Yes,
am.
I am. And I have my trash bowl and I keep it neat.
Oh, I love taking my knife and just going.
That's why all of our knives are dull in the Mythical kitchen.
No,
'cause
I
Josh
don't.
is just scraping.
I
You're
don't
not supposed
cook
to be scraping
anymore.
boards.
You can feel the flimsiness of this cheap knife, even just while cutting an onion. While you're trying to rock it against the board, you just feel it go like.
Yeah.
Mine's
It's kind of
sturdy.
scary.
Mine's like Botox. It stays the same. Do something.
I'm putting lime in it to make it tasty. It's not part of the test.
Nope, but I'm gonna mix it.
Listen, we're not sure if you should spend $500 on a knife, but you should definitely spend $9 on a citrus reamer. On one of these like handheld juicers, these
I
things
agree.
rule. Dude, I use mine like every day.
It gets all the juice out.
I know it's great.
Right, as much as you work out, you can never get all the juice out like this does.
Wait.
No, I'm not that buff.
We should not this. We should test that.
Like,
All right,
a
in the
real
next
workout?
Myth
I've been having tendonitis issues in my elbow though. Switch back. We both spun the same way.
Was that cool?
I think it was super cool. What
Okay.
did y'all feel in the knives?
I felt like the Hampton Forge one sucked.
Well, I didn't think it was that bad. It worked for me being the first one that I used, but by the time I got to the bougie one, what's it called again? Bougie? Botox?
Zwilling.
Beverly Hills?
Zwilling twin.
Yeah, the twins.
1731.
It was just a great transition. Like, I'm glad I ended up with that one, and it worked out the most for my tomatoes specifically.
Yeah, this is the first time that I actually felt the big difference with the really expensive knife. The cheap knife, I mean, for me, it still performed better than
it's
your
doing its
in-laws
job.
knives. That's our official scale here. But again, like, this becomes an in-law knife 6 months from
very
now,
quick.
right?
Yeah.
We're gonna see that at the end. But I mean, for a task like this, honestly, it's $5. Like, I would buy that knife to go to an Airbnb if I'm like cooking for friends.
I was just thinking
That's an Airbnb knife,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Quick vacation.
I hate going to an Airbnb, and then that's like worse than the in-law knife. It's so scary.
We need the official continuum of our knives. It's like sushi chef, in-law, Airbnb knife.
Yep.
I mean, ultimately, they all perform. This is good-looking pico. I didn't any of it. What I like to do, though, is I like to mash it with my hands.
Don't do that. Please
It's like-
don't do
I
that.
call it the
We're gonna
human-
eat that,
the
and
human
the
milk.
oils from your hands are gonna get in the food.
It's the human molcajete. Test number 3. French fries, which Lily, you'll love this fun fact, aren't actually French. They're Belgian.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No,
Yeah,
that was
no,
fun.
Sometimes the starch and water content of a potato, I think, is actually really unique to cut. It tends to stick to the face of the knife. So we're gonna see how these actually perform. Like with a flexible knife, is it going to stick even more? Is the dullness of the cut not gonna get you perfect rectangles? Find out on Myth Munchers. Cut to the clip. All right, make some french fries, do it.
Cut off the little end piece. Should we see like?
Is this a test?
It is
Why
a
is she
test.
shaking her
It is a
knife?
test. Do you guys have a preference of what kind of cutting board you like to use? I'm a big wood fan myself.
I like to use wood with everything except my meats because I am sanitary.
I used to have very strong preferences on wood cutting boards, but when Julia and I merged homes, she had this just giant plastic, but a good quality hard plastic one that has rubber feet on it. And I just find that so convenient. It's so easy to clean. A lot of restaurants use plastic cutting boards that are color coded for safety reasons. The main thing that I want though is non-slit feet. Like, because to
Yeah,
me,
you
the
need
the
them.
best cutting board is just a stable cutting board,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah.
a trick, we have it under here, right?
Yep.
Paper towel trick. Wet a paper towel, get it, wring it out, put it underneath your cutting board. Never slips. It's incredible.
Also, glass cutting boards. Why are those are in the
In-laws!
Wait,
In-laws have the glass-
Airbnbs have. Why does every Airbnb have a glass cutting board?
I've never
the
seen a
in-laws.
glass
Very
cutting
confusing.
board at an in-laws house or Airbnb.
The feeling of a
Where
knife
do you
hitting a-
guys travel to?
Oh my god.
All the in-laws own the Airbnbs.
That's true. There's
They
no real
hold
estate.
all the generational wealth.
Yes.
They get
there's-
investment properties and they invest in
What?
glass freaking cutting boards.
No, I
Yeah.
see wood. I see
no real
marble.
estate for the millennials to
I see
buy.
clouds.
Power to
It's
the
just
people.
gonna be in debt.
Alright.
Oh no.
Oh, this
It's
one's
really hard to go from the most expensive to the least expensive.
This is really surprising for me, Josh. Your knife just disappointed me.
What? So, well, I mean, it can naturally stick to that. That's why if you're using a Santoku blade or anything with the dimples in it, that's actually going to prevent vegetables from sticking to it.
Also, it's important to clean your knife in between as well, especially for starchy vegetables like this. Here, I got you.
Now, do you recommend tongue cleaning your knife in between rounds of prep? 'Cause that's what I do at home.
No.
Jesus Christ, Philip.
Woo-boo. This is more of a, I almost said a Jay-Z
He's
knife.
still out
He's
here
in
making
trouble.
music. Lupe's still. How's Lupe doing?
I don't know. You want me to call him?
He kind of. I don't know if you have his number.
know
I'd like to talk to
No, I
Lupe.
might. You never know. I might know everybody.
You used to work at like a hip hop radio station.
I did.
Not a hip hop radio station.
The
hip hop
hip-hop radio
Shout out to
station.
Big Boy in the Morning. There
Wow.
were like 2 radio stations in LA. There was rock and there was hip hop, and then there was classic rock and classic hip hop.
Yeah, and Kiss FM.
And then Kiss FM
And then
for
Kiss
pop.
FM.
But yeah, you had K Rock 106.7, Power 105.9, and then you had 98.7 was like worst K Rock.
94.7 the wave. 92.3 is now hip.
95.5 was like classic rock, but then there was
93.5.
was the classic hip hop station.
Yeah.
So the way the blade tapers there on the ridge is actually preventing the potato from sticking to it because it's creating an air pocket when it rides up on the blade.
Yeah.
I also didn't get a lot of stickage from the expensive one.
No.
I got
one had
more.
that.
I got less for sure than the Mercer. Which one felt better to cut the potato with?
I think this one for me, but
Yeah.
then this one second and this one last.
Parkour.
The long potato. Oh, don't eat the raw potato, dude. That's one of the most disgusting sensations in food.
Should I do it too?
Do you actually love raw potato, or are you just saying that to be weird?
No, I actually ate them when I was younger. Annalise knows.
Why does Annalise know?
She knows everything about me.
I guess so. This is our final test, and this is a very specific final test. We are cutting chives. Now, if you're a home cook, you don't need perfectly cut chives.
Yes, you do.
Thank you, Chef Ramsay over here. This is like very much a fine dining thing. I've cut chives in fine dining restaurants. It's maybe the hardest thing I've ever freaking done in my life. The idea is that they are razor thin and there is a perfect cut through every time. But even at home, this is a great test for your knife. And also, dude, chives, they make kind of everything look better.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
And I really like the taste of chives too, man. A great technique for cutting chives or rolling them up in a little bundle right here in a wet paper towel. Just want to roll them super, super tight. Let's get to it. I remember
You're in my space right now.
someone, I know, I'm just large. I remember someone telling me to perfectly line up the blade with your forearm and look right down that blade.
Look right down
Getting a
the
little drag.
blade.
Getting a little drag on the
Getting a little
expensive
drag.
knife.
Oh, I dragged. You're not supposed to do that.
I'm concentrating so hard. Should I look at the
feel like I
camera?
gotta
Look at the camera!
Look at
I
the camera.
have to squat a little bit.
I'm getting pretty clean cuts on everything here.
Yeah, surprisingly me too. And it's
YouTube
$5.
video.
Yeah, it's doing its job, guys.
There are a bunch of other tests that we could have done here. We thought about breaking down whole chickens, but then we're like, oh yeah, butchers exist to do that for you. We could have done that. We could have, scaled and broken down fish, but they sell fish fillets, so we wanted to do things that we would actually advocate a home cook to do. Although I found more fishmongers to be hostile. You guys ever have? Am I the only one that gets hostile fishmongers?
What do you mean?
What do you? I don't even know
Anyone
what that
whose
means.
job
What are
ends
these
up-
words?
What? Yeah, I went to my fish guy
All
and
the chives.
oh shh. My fishmonger. My fish, not the good fishmonger. Not the good fishmonger.
He
I was at
cut
the-
all of them.
I was at a fishmonger at like a big grocery store, and I was like, "Hey, can you pin bone these fish?" And they were like, "Fish has bones." I was like, "I know. I think it'd be really cool if you could take them out." There's actually a sign behind you that says, "Our fishmongers will gladly debone the fish." And they're like, "I can't guarantee that they're all out there." And I was like, "Well, I just want you to try your best." And they were just like, "There's always gonna be bones." I was like, "I don't know that that's true. How did you get this job? Did you want to work the pizza station? They just kind of put you here." And anyways,
Anyway, cut the chives.
there were a lot of bones in my throat that day.
I've never had that experience. I don't like my knife.
I love this knife. Damn it, Josh. I see why you got so locked in.
So V is going progressively to the more expensive knife. I'm going straight from expensive to cheap.
Yeah.
And Josh is going up to expensive and then cheap. So I think that is like a different experience as well, because like you can see I'm dragging these chives here.
As
Not
you,
as
Drag
com-
them, sis.
as you can see, my chives are damn near gone.
The cheap
Dang,
knife
this
feels
bougie
so
one is
bad after
growing
the
on me.
expensive knife.
I'm meant to be in Beverly Hills, guys. Or what's the new rich city? Dubai.
Why do I like this one the most? But
Yeah,
I hate it
can
at the
feel-
least.
I can feel this knife bruising. Like you can literally see you're getting perfect circles on those right there, whereas this is literally like breaking some of the chives
Yeah.
into strands
And,
because you're
like,
bruising it
it's
so
not
hard, and
holding
you're
even
ending up
these.
with that, which is also a skill issue, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I think these are my favorite chives that I've done though, compared to my other chives.
My best chive was the boo-boo. The boo-boo knife.
Maybe you just have cheap taste.
I do. Wait, what is it? Beer budget champagne party? What's that?
Champagne tastes on a beer budget.
Yeah,
so I'm
that
doing
one.
the Korean grandma cut here. I kind of like this.
We're not testing scissors today.
What? Yeah, but dude, Korean grandma cutting scallions and chives?
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Rate my chives. Rate my chives.
Rate my chives. Rate my chives.
Rate my
Rate my chives. Rate my chives.
Rate my chives.
Rate my chives, chef.
Bad. Worse. Disqualified.
Terrible.
You didn't get him on the. You didn't get him on the plate. Disqualified.
What did y'all learn from cutting chives with the 3 different knives at price points? Did you feel them dull over time?
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely felt that one dull over time.
We didn't really talk about knife maintenance. Now, a lot of restaurant chefs, they use a whetstone, which to me, I've used in the past, but it kind of takes some getting used to. Frankly, I've ruined a couple knives trying to whetstone it, not being careful.
Yeah.
Because you have to hold a consistent angle. The thing I do use, hold on. I brought it. They're not a sponsor at all, and honestly, I bought this. It was $300. It's called the Horl Knife Tumbler. I freaking love this thing. You like set it down. Screw it. We'll do a demo.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
No,
snap.
wrong side.
There's
Whoop.
chives on it.
Okay, it's not great. But anyways, yeah, you literally just hold the knife at an angle and you run this across it, and it's so freaking easy to sharpen.
Whoa.
But that said, you get a low quality blade. That's
Yeah.
going to deteriorate so much over time that when you do sharpen it, you're eventually going to get to the point where that burr is just so thin that it just doesn't hold its sharpness for a long enough period of time. So I feel like these two knives, as long as this one is well maintained, I think it's going to perform like 85% as good as that one, whereas that one costs 300% more.
Yeah.
I'm on the same page as you.
500%. How does percents work?
800% of that
Out of 100.
is correct.
6,000.
Y'all ready to eat what we've been working on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come to some conclusions. Invest in the splife.
No, it's dangerous.
No.
We have all the fruits of our labor in front of us, but first I want to address the Horl tumbler sharpener. I said it was $300. The one I bought, the Pro model, is $300. They also sell a $90 one and a $150 one. I didn't know that, but it's an investment. If you go to the dentist and pay $300 to sharpen your teeth, you should.
Who sharpens their teeth?
What else are they doing at the dentist? Should we eat our food?
Yeah.
In the pico, do you see like the bruising, the cilantro? I don't think it's gonna make it taste any different, right?
No. But I will say, as somebody who went to culinary school, I do think knife cuts are very important, and it's something that you should improve on, no matter if you're a professional chef or a home chef.
What did y'all learn from chopping with these knives today? Anything surprise you?
I was surprised by the small variance between the expensive knife and the middle knife. I thought this one was actually going to perform a lot better, and the variance was a lot smaller than I thought. So that was interesting.
Yeah. I'm surprised by actually how much this cheap knife worked for certain things. Like the Pico de Gallo, it worked well for me, and I liked it, and it's just affordable.
I'd be really curious to see how well this knife maintains over time. But yeah, that did perform like not terribly compared to the rest of them. I don't think I could ever advocate for a home cook to buy a $500 knife, right? Could you?
I agree with that.
No, don't do it.
This $50 knife right here, it's gonna last for a long ass time. We're talking years, if not a decade plus, if you maintain it properly. Get the tools to maintain it, keep it sharp, get your knife cuts good, and pretty good base, just keep cooking, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so on a count of 3, everybody pick which one you recommend, okay? 1.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Nobody's talking to you, Siri.
Butt out! We don't
Alexa.
care about your opinion.
Okay.
Did you just misname Alexa? Did you just call Alexa Siri?
Yeah,
Dude, that's
she
like
pisses me off every day, so I misname her.
yeah, but that's like calling your current girlfriend your ex's name. That's messed up,
nowhere near
dude.
the
That is
same. She
exactly
is not my
the same.
girlfriend.
When you're in bed.
She is my side chick. 1, 2, 3.
That one!
Pretty clear winner here, right? Yeah, Mercer, this is a perfect, not even a beginner knife. This is like a perfect like beginner, intermediate, and pretty damn close to expert knife. It's gonna get you a lot of places, and I think there's some similar knives out there at this price point. That's pretty solid. This held up through every battery of tests that we had. Razor thin chives, nicely cut potatoes, this thin old steak, go birds.
I just like cheese sticks.
And that's the real lesson we're taking away from this episode, that the cheesesteak is truly the greatest Philadelphia sandwich. The roast pork is great, but beef, onions, cheese, that's the real Myth Muncher spirit. Also, I recognize that we did switch up Myth Munchers a little bit today. We really just wanted to earnestly explore a question that I think a lot of people generally have, which is, how much should I spend on a knife? And I know we didn't run through everything that we possibly could have today. But yeah, let us know if you enjoyed it in the comments, because I had a hell of a time doing this.
I had a good time
had a
with you
great
guys.
I learned so much.
Well, I'm gonna eat this wet beef sandwich. I'll see y'all next time. Zoom in close while I eat the wet beef. Yes. Get your tickets now for Mythical Kitchen's first ever live show, Survive the Mythical Kitchen. Available now at mythicalkitchenlive.com.